Let's talk about compliments, the ones that don't just flatter a woman, but genuinely make her feel seen, valued, and connected. There's a difference between flattery and sincerity, and a woman can feel it in her bones when it's real. When you tell a woman, "You inspire me," you are doing more than paying her a compliment. You are offering her a mirror that reflects back the most powerful parts of who she is. This statement isn't just words strung together to impress her. It's an acknowledgement that who she is and what she stands for has an impact. Inspiration is deeply personal, and when a woman hears that she has the ability to move someone emotionally or mentally, it strikes a chord. Most women live their lives giving, doing, and nurturing others without expecting anything in return. They pour themselves into their families, careers, communities, and passions. And while they do it from a place of strength and love, it can often feel like no one notices the depth of their contribution. But when a man pauses to look beyond the surface, to recognize her drive, her growth, her quiet strength, and says, "You inspire me," it lands differently. It's not about idolizing her. It's about telling her, "I see your effort, I see your heart, and I admire your spirit." This kind of compliment is powerful because it speaks to her sense of purpose. It's not focused on her looks, her clothes, or even her accomplishments alone. It's about the essence of her. Maybe it's the way she keeps going despite challenges. Maybe it's her compassion, her work ethic, or how she believes in her dreams. Whatever it is, when you express that she inspires you, you're telling her that her authenticity and presence have created a ripple effect in someone else's life. Women are deeply intuitive. They know when words are empty, and they can feel when something comes from a place of truth. When a man sincerely expresses that he finds inspiration in her, he's inviting a connection that goes beyond the ordinary. It builds emotional intimacy. It tells her that you're not just observing her from a distance, you're absorbing her essence, learning from her, and growing because of her. And here's what most people overlook. When a woman feels like she is seen in this way, she begins to associate your presence with safety, depth, and understanding. She doesn't just feel appreciated, she feels valued. And in that space of feeling valued, love often takes root. Not the kind that's based on charm or grand gestures, but the kind that is grounded in mutual respect and emotional resonance. The truth is, women aren't looking for perfect, they're looking for real. They want to be understood. They want to know that who they are matters. Saying, "You inspire me," is a gentle reminder that their light is not only shining, but is being received by someone who cherishes it. And when that happens, the walls begin to come down, and something meaningful begins to unfold. Saying, "I love how you think," is one of the most disarming and powerful compliments a woman can receive. In a world that often puts so much emphasis on how a woman looks, to have her mind acknowledged is refreshing. It tells her that she's being seen not just for her appearance or her role in your life, but for the uniqueness of her inner world. Her thoughts, her logic, her perspectives, those things matter to you. And when a woman feels that her mind is valued, she becomes open in a way that looks nothing like the guardedness she shows to the rest of the world. This compliment goes deeper than just saying she's smart. Intelligence is a quality people recognize, but saying you love how she thinks connects your admiration to emotion. It's not just intellectual respect, it's emotional resonance. You're telling her that the way her mind works excites you, intrigues you, and draws you closer. Whether she's expressing ideas on life, sharing her opinion on something simple, or working through a complex problem, this compliment shows that you're not just hearing her, you're truly listening. Every woman has her own way of processing the world. Some are deep thinkers, some are intuitive, some are logical, and others are visionaries. When you take the time to notice and appreciate the way she formulates ideas, how she makes decisions, or the way her perspective stands out from the crowd, it creates intimacy. It tells her that she doesn't need to shrink, edit herself, or second-guess her intellect when she's with you, and that kind of freedom is rare and unforgettable. When a woman hears that you love how she thinks, it also builds trust. She'll feel more comfortable sharing deeper parts of herself, her dreams, her doubts, her creativity. She will start bringing more of her authentic self to the table, not out of obligation, but because she feels safe to do so. You've shown her that her mind is a space you respect, and that creates an emotional bond that runs much deeper than anything physical. This compliment also subtly reflects your own emotional intelligence. It shows that you're not intimidated by a thoughtful woman, but rather drawn to her. That you're secure enough to appreciate her ideas without needing to dominate the conversation. Women notice that. They remember how you made them feel smart, not small. More than anything, saying, "I love how you think," is a compliment that echoes long after it's spoken, because it affirms something that goes to the core of who she is, her identity, her essence, her brain and soul working together. It's a recognition not just of her thoughts, but the way those thoughts shape her character. And when you show a woman that her inner world moves you, you become someone who doesn't just admire her, you understand her. And that's where real connection begins. When you tell a woman you make everything better, you are offering her something deeply affirming, the acknowledgement that her presence has the power to elevate, to heal, and to transform. This isn't about what she does in specific moments or the big gestures she may make. It's about the subtle, consistent way she shifts the energy in a room, brings calm to chaos, or simply makes things feel lighter and more meaningful just by being there. Women often move through life holding space for everyone around them, managing emotions, caring for others, uplifting, encouraging, and soothing wounds they never caused. Much of this is done silently, without recognition, as if it's just expected. So when you pause, look her in the eye, and tell her that she makes everything better, you give voice to something she may not even realize you've noticed. And that matters. This compliment isn't tied to tasks. It's not about whether she cooked your favorite meal, gave great advice, or supported you in a crisis. It's about the effect her energy, her kindness, her perspective, and even her stillness has on your world. Maybe you feel more grounded when she's near. Maybe her laugh brightens your worst day. Maybe her words soften your internal battles. Whatever it is, when you say she makes everything better, you're telling her that her existence adds meaning to yours. There's a certain kind of beauty in being someone who makes life feel easier, warmer, more hopeful. And when a woman knows that she brings that into your life, not because she's trying to fix you or carry your burdens, but because of who she naturally is, it creates a connection built on gratitude and appreciation. This kind of compliment also creates emotional intimacy. It lets her know that you're not just with her for what she looks like or what she offers on the surface. You're with her because her essence enhances your experience of life. And that's what women long for, to be cherished for who they are, not just what they do. You make everything better is also a reminder that her presence is enough, that she doesn't have to be constantly achieving or proving something to be valuable to you. Her love, her energy, her attention, those things are felt, and they matter more than she may realize. Most importantly, this compliment builds emotional security. It tells her that she isn't replaceable, that her presence is felt even in her silence. It's not about needing her to fix you or make your life perfect. It's about letting her know that with her, life simply feels more complete. When you say it with sincerity, without expecting anything in return, she'll remember that. She'll feel seen, and in that moment, her heart will recognize that she's with someone who not only appreciates her, but is better because of her. Telling a woman, "You have such a beautiful energy," goes far beyond physical compliments. It reaches into the intangible, the part of her that can't be captured in a photograph or defined by appearance alone. It's an acknowledgement of her essence, her presence, and the subtle frequency she carries that touches those around her without even trying. This kind of compliment speaks to her soul. It says, "I feel you," not just "I see you." Energy is what people remember when the words are forgotten. It's the calm she brings when everything is tense, the joy that lights up the room when she walks in, the quiet strength that steadies everyone even when things fall apart. When you notice and verbalize this, you're not complimenting something superficial. You're honoring the invisible gift that she shares with the world simply by existing as herself. Most women are not told often enough that their energy is beautiful. They're told they're attractive, sexy, well-dressed, maybe even successful. But to be told that her energy is beautiful is to recognize the real her, the version of herself that she doesn't always show, but that radiates naturally through her spirit. And that matters, because it's that energy that often makes people feel comfortable, understood, safe, or inspired in her presence. When you say, "You have such a beautiful energy," you're letting her know that her inner world speaks louder than any external feature. It tells her that what draws you in is something deeper, something felt, not just seen. And that makes her feel not just admired, but truly valued. She doesn't need to perform, impress, or pretend. She just has to be. This kind of compliment also builds trust. It tells her that you're attuned to her emotional presence and that you're the kind of person who pays attention to things that others overlook. You're not just reacting to surface-level attraction. You're connecting to something far more meaningful. That's a rare kind of connection, and it's unforgettable. When you tell a woman, "You're so good at that," you're offering her a moment of pure recognition, and that kind of validation runs deep. It may seem like a simple statement, but its impact is powerful when it comes from a place of sincerity. Because so often, women go about their lives doing remarkable things quietly, without applause, without acknowledgement, and sometimes without even realizing how extraordinary they are in the eyes of others. This compliment is about more than just pointing out a skill. It's about letting her know that her efforts are seen and that her abilities matter. Maybe she's excellent at organizing, leading, creating, nurturing, solving problems, or handling difficult conversations with grace. Maybe she has an eye for design, a gift with words, or a way of making people feel welcome. Whatever it is, when you say, "You're so good at that," you shine a light on the value she brings to the world in a way that's specific, affirming, and personal. Women often carry a quiet strength, juggling roles, responsibilities, and relationships, while still striving to maintain their sense of self. Compliments like this remind her that what she's doing doesn't go unnoticed. And more importantly, it tells her that you're paying attention to more than just how she looks. You're seeing her in action. You're observing her talent, her patience, her discipline, or her creativity. And that says more than 1,000 generic compliments ever could. This kind of statement builds connection. It shows her that you notice the details, the behind-the-scenes effort, the little things she might not even give herself credit for. And that kind of recognition feels different. It's validating, but it also invites her to feel proud of herself in your presence. When a woman knows you admire her skills or strengths, it inspires her to share even more of herself with you. You become someone she can shine around without fear of being underestimated or taken for granted. What makes "you're so good at that" especially meaningful is its versatility. It can be applied to something lighthearted or something deeply personal. Whether you're complimenting the way she tells stories, how she parents, how she solves problems, or how she holds space for others, the key is to be specific and authentic. That's when it lands. That's when it sticks with her. And sometimes, hearing those words can be a turning point. Maybe she's doubting herself. Maybe she's been working quietly behind the scenes. Maybe she doesn't even realize how capable she is. But your words can become a moment she never forgets. A moment where she felt truly seen and appreciated, not just for who she is, but for what she brings to the world. Sincere recognition creates emotional closeness. It says, "I see your strengths and I admire them." And when that admiration is consistent and genuine, it builds a level of trust that makes a woman feel not only valued, but emotionally safe. And that's where real attraction begins. Saying, "I feel so calm around you" might seem simple, but to a woman, it can be one of the most emotionally intimate compliments you can give. In a world filled with noise, pressure, and constant stimulation, calmness is a rare and precious feeling. When you tell her that she is the one who brings you that peace, you're not just admiring her presence, you're inviting her into your inner world. You're letting her know that being with her helps you breathe a little easier, think more clearly, and feel more grounded. Women are often taught to be everything for everyone: strong, nurturing, driven, emotionally available, and beautiful, all at once. They give so much of their energy, day in and day out, often without ever being told that their presence itself is a healing force. So when you tell her, "I feel so calm around you," you're recognizing not just what she does, but how she makes you feel, that you are better just by being near her. This compliment is about more than external peace. It's about the emotional safety she offers. Maybe it's in the way she listens without judgment or distraction. Maybe it's the warmth in her voice, the way she holds space when you're struggling, or how she knows exactly when to be silent and when to speak. These things can't be measured, but they are deeply felt. They are what makes someone feel safe enough to open up, to soften, to be real. Feeling calm around someone means you don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to impress, perform, or hold your guard up. You just are. And that kind of calm is rare. When a woman knows that she brings that to you, not through effort or performance, but through her being, she feels connected to you on a deeper level. She understands that what you value in her is far beyond the surface. It also tells her that her energy brings peace, not drama, that being with her is a place of rest, not resistance. And the truth is, women don't just want to be desired, they want to be appreciated for the kind of emotional atmosphere they create. When you say you feel calm around her, you're telling her that her presence is a sanctuary, a refuge from the chaos of the world. There's a quiet kind of intimacy in that, because calmness creates space for closeness, for real conversations, for vulnerability. And when a woman knows that you associate her with that kind of peace, she begins to feel emotionally safe with you too. And emotional safety is the foundation for real, lasting connection. This compliment may not be flashy, but its power lies in how deeply it affirms her value. Because when you tell a woman she makes you feel calm, you're not just appreciating what she does, you're cherishing who she is. Telling a woman, "You're hilarious," might sound lighthearted, but its impact can be surprisingly profound. Humor is one of the most underrated ways to build emotional connection, and when a woman hears that her sense of humor genuinely makes you laugh, you're validating a part of her personality that is often overlooked or underestimated. You're letting her know that she doesn't just make you smile, she makes you feel good. She brings joy, spontaneity, and brightness into your life, and that matters more than most people realize. Women are often appreciated for being nurturing, attractive, or supportive, but being told they're funny, that they make someone genuinely laugh, is rare. Society doesn't always celebrate female humor the same way it does with men, so when you notice it and call it out, it's refreshing. It shows that you value her personality, not just her appearance. You're telling her that you enjoy her company, that her wit, timing, or sense of playfulness adds something real to your life. Humor is a sign of intelligence, emotional agility, and creativity. When you say you're hilarious, you're acknowledging that she has the power to shift a mood, ease tension, or bring life into a dull moment. It tells her that being around her is fun, unpredictable in the best way, and full of laughter. And laughter is a magnet for connection. It lowers defenses, opens hearts, and creates memories. It's one of the purest ways to bond. When a woman makes you laugh, she's sharing a piece of her perspective, her timing, and her boldness. And when you respond with that compliment, you're creating a space where she feels free to be her full self, unfiltered, silly, sarcastic, spontaneous, or whatever her humor looks like. That kind of freedom is rare, and people remember the ones who make them feel that kind of lightness. Saying "you're hilarious" also reflects a sense of compatibility. It signals that you not only understand her jokes, but appreciate her humor style, whether it's dry, dark, clever, quirky, or over the top. That shared sense of humor builds a private rhythm between the two of you. It becomes your language, your inside jokes, your little shared moments that no one else quite gets. It also balances the emotional energy between you. When a woman is constantly complimented for her looks or accomplishments, it can start to feel impersonal or repetitive. But telling her she's hilarious gives her the freedom to be playful, to joke around, and to know she doesn't have to be perfect. She just has to be real. And that realness is what often builds the deepest kind of connection. In the end, making someone laugh isn't just entertainment, it's emotional influence. When a woman knows she can lift your mood and make your day better with just a look, a comment, or a story, she feels powerful in the most beautiful way. Because being seen as hilarious isn't just about comedy, it's about being unforgettable. When you tell a woman, "I respect how you carry yourself," you're speaking directly to her dignity, her self-awareness, and the way she moves through life, even when no one is watching. This isn't a compliment about what she wears, how she looks, or anything superficial. It's about her posture, her presence, and the inner strength that radiates in the way she handles herself in various spaces. It's a recognition of her character, her self-control, and her emotional intelligence, the quiet confidence that speaks volumes without needing to shout. This kind of compliment holds weight because it speaks to the choices she makes every day, the way she speaks to others, the way she maintains her boundaries, how she doesn't fold under pressure or compromise her values just to fit in. You're acknowledging the poise she carries in conversations, in conflict, in leadership, or even in silence. You're seeing the discipline in her composure, the grace in her assertiveness, and the intentionality in the way she presents herself to the world. Women are constantly being pulled in different directions by social expectations. Be this, but not too much of that. Stay soft, but don't be weak. Be confident, but not arrogant. So when you recognize how she's found her own rhythm, how she balances it all with integrity, that compliment cuts deeper than you may realize. It tells her that someone sees how hard she's worked to become who she is, that someone notices the effort it takes to walk through life with self-respect, despite the noise and the pressure. This compliment is also powerful because it comes from a place of admiration, not attraction. It's rooted in appreciation for her values, not just her vibe. And when a woman hears that you respect how she carries herself, she feels safe. She knows she doesn't have to dim her light or explain her standards. She's not being measured by how much she gives or sacrifices, but by how firmly and gracefully she holds her space in the world. It also builds a deeper emotional connection. Because when you admire how someone carries themselves, you're telling them that their essence, their behavior, their presence, their mindset resonates with you. That you don't just see them, you respect them. And respect is the foundation of any relationship that lasts. It shows that you're not just drawn to her, you're inspired by her. Most importantly, this compliment gives her permission to continue showing up as herself, to keep leading with purpose, to continue being unapologetic about her standards, her energy, and her voice, because now she knows someone notices and values what she brings to the table, even when the world doesn't always say it out loud. At the heart of every meaningful compliment is one simple truth. Women want to be seen, heard, and valued for who they truly are. Each of these compliments, "You inspire me," "I love how you think," "You make everything better," "You have such a beautiful energy," "You're so good at that," "I feel so calm around you," "You're hilarious," and "I respect how you carry yourself," touches a different layer of her identity. Together, they express a deep appreciation that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. These aren't just words. They are affirmations that say, "I see you not just for what you do, but for the energy, the thought, the spirit, and the heart you bring into this world." When you speak with this level of sincerity, you don't just make a woman feel special. You make her feel safe, seen, and deeply connected. And that kind of emotional intimacy is what builds the kind of love that lasts.